We want to welcome you to another great episode of The Culture Gumbo.
We're back.
We're back in full effect. No one says that, but we appreciate you being loyal listeners. We appreciate you being loyal watchers on YouTube, listening to our podcast, whichever way you hear us. Thank you. We have a great episode. A lot of emotions involved in this episode, but when do we not have our thoughts and emotions involved in any episode? We don't.
By the time you see this episode, it'll be a couple days, but we're actually shooting this episode right after receiving the news about the school shooting in Texas. So I know we like to laugh, we like to have fun, and we're still gonna do that. But it will be irresponsible for us not to acknowledge the fact that like America has a problem. Like, we are putting politics before kids, and it's happening on a consistent basis. And I know we have a process, but I'm in the mode, and I just
where his head is, so okay.
I've been struggling with this since we got it. You know, me and Shakira were texting about it. Politics play a part in everyday society, and I understand that. But the things that some of these politicians are doing in the name of politics, you're not only destroying lives, but you're causing more and more division. 14 kids today woke up with the thought of they were going to go to school, they were going to learn, they were going to play with their friends. And they passed. They were murdered at the hands of an 18-year-old shooter, which we don't even know the motive of. We don't know the full situation of, but the fact of the matter is it should never happen. We should not have to think of the most simplest things in our lives and think, oh, I got to carry a gun with me. Previously, we just had we're still reeling from the shooting in Buffalo. Like, this man went on a racist tirade and killed what could have been many of our grandmothers, our aunts, our uncles, our cousins, our sisters, our brothers. And these things are literally happening, and there's no control. They're fighting in Congress over gun control, over a situation that literally should be everybody on board. But on a consistent basis, when we get these votes in and we see what happens, we're seeing many times, unfortunately, Republicans are voting against it. They're voting against the formula replacement. I mean, they voted against everything possible, and yet I still see on Twitter, pardon my language, I still see on Twitter motherfuckers saying, why should we vote? Why should we do this? It was never going to be fucking perfect. We're never going to get the exact candidate that we fucking need. At the end of the day, when you're voting for a politician, you are literally basically voting for the lesser of two evils of someone who can literally get in there and do the best that they can to get what you are hoping to get done. Now, it's not always going to get done, but the fact of the fucking matter is that the opposite of you not voting is literally letting the other side completely vote, of which you do not agree with, and then you're going to complain more and more and more.
Right.
It makes no fucking sense. Like, yo, people are dying. You know what I'm saying? People are losing their homes. Like, we literally went through the last 4 motherfucking years of some of the harshest times, you know what I'm saying? Probably since, and I wasn't born back then, but I've talked to my grandmother, I've talked to people. Like, it makes no sense how you all can still get on fucking social media and you can ask yourself, why should we vote? Why should we do this? I'm voting this way, I'm voting that way. If you're doing all this extra shit and you're not voting to literally change and you're not staying consistent, then shut the fuck up.
And it starts at home. Before we talk about presidents, and we've said this multiple times on this show, it starts at home. And that means your local community, like a lot of people, like what you just said, and we talk about what happened in the schools today in Texas. how many people are really involved in their children's education? How many people sign up for that PTA meeting? How many people go? How many people know what's happening with the security in schools? And not saying that we should have to have security in schools, but the reality is this is not the first school shooting. I don't believe this might be the last school shooting, because the reality is people are so caught up in politics and what they want that you turn in your head. And if there's no guard to guard the innocent, then there's nobody in place to stop something like this from happening again. And that's the reality. Like, how did this young kid get a chance to walk into a school with a pistol, they said, and he had a rifle? He had 2 guns. And how did he have the opportunity to just walk in there and just start killing kids? Like, where was the security guard at? Where was any other like, where were the adults? Because when you drop your kid off to school, you're thinking that you're dropping them off in good hands of the teachers, of the principal, of the, like, you don't think that you need to tell your kid, make sure you have that cell phone on you 24/7 in case somebody decide to come up here and shoot the school up. They don't even know how to comprehend. This is an elementary school, so that's like 5th grade and under. And then, to see a post on social media, on Twitter, telling parents like, there's an active shooter, we'll let you know when we know more. How am I supposed to even comprehend anything as a parent, knowing that I dropped my kid off to school before I went to work this morning, and now I got to think about, is it my kid that's dead, that's gone, that didn't get an opportunity to even say anything to anybody because y'all just allowed this to happen? So there's so much that has to change in America when it comes to protecting citizens and kids, especially kids, the innocent, those that can't protect themselves. They rely on adults to protect them. So now, what do y'all expect these other kids that made it to go to school? And like, what do you expect to happen to them?
What's crazy is that, of course, Marjorie Taylor Greene, like in the last hour, has come out, and now, of course, she's fighting against gun control. Like, but
what does it take? Like, it takes this, like, that should have been when Boston happened. That should have happened before Boston. We are like, come on. So
here's the thing. I'm just a normal person that just thinks from a common sense standpoint. I'm a gun owner. You know what I'm saying? I went through the process. You know what I'm saying? You go through the background checks, you go through everything. Gun control does not mean we want to take away your guns. Gun control means we want to make it harder to access guns so that these type of things can't happen. We want to make sure that people are properly vetted so that we can make sure that these things don't happen. And these politicians are going in here and they're literally fighting against common sense items. And it's always fun to fight against common sense items until literally it's you or your family involved in it. Like, this makes no sense whatsoever. And all we keep giving is our fucking thoughts and prayers. And our thoughts and prayers aren't doing anything, because you know what happens? We give our thoughts and prayers for 2 or 3 days, and then we go back to like everything is back to normal.
But
like,
it's not.
For God's sakes, these people are out here talking about Will Smith and Chris Rock for almost 2-3 months. And the Buffalo shooting lasted
maybe 2 days.
2 to 3
maybe
days.
2 days.
Like, that's crazy to me. And nobody's perfect and nobody has all the answers. But I think that the first thing that does need to be done is everyone needs to get on one accord and understand, like, yo, at the end of the day, we're all fucking human beings. At the end of the day, we all have loved ones. Fuck your politics. Fuck what you feel, and go ahead and get something done. Yep. It doesn't mean that, there's not going to be another shooting, because unfortunately, we already know how this goes. But it means that we can at least try to get a start to try to fix something immediately. And I hate to even say it that way, because even when I say it that way, it sounds sick, and I just want to say, well, that sounds stupid as fuck. But truth be told, that's literally what it is. Like there has
Right.
to be a start, and there has to be immediately something that has to be done. So, man, that's all I gotta say about it. You know, we can start the show at this point. I don't care.
I think we already started the show. Honestly, but I think the biggest thing is, you know, there's so much to unpack. There's so much to take away from this. So honestly, you know, welcome. This is Culture Gumbo. I am one of your hosts, Shakira, and
Will.
okay, and Will today. So he already started the show. He already started some of the things, and some of this has to do with we like to always start soft, but honestly, this is a serious matter and a serious topic to discuss, and it's necessary to say what we need to say. And sometimes we say, how you feeling? How's your mental? Well, clearly you already know where our mental is right now. So we don't really need to go into that right now. But speaking of politics, let's go into the Biden administration and the lack or shortage of baby formula. Now, I don't have children at this moment. I'm not having children. Let me just throw it out there. Okay. However, there has been a shortage, quote unquote, in America, because it's not a shortage in other countries, of baby formula. And there's been so many parents trying to figure out what they need to do. You go to Walmart, you go to all these places, and there's nothing on the shelves. Supposedly, Biden has started to work with manufacturers who say that they're going to get more formula and be able to produce fast enough. But the reality is, let's just talk about this for a second. Was there formula in 1955? Did we have formula? Was it maybe not, maybe 55 possibly, but Black people had to figure it out. We always had to figure it out. And so as I continued to scroll online, I found recipes of baking soda and just different, you know, carnation milk and different recipes that people could do despite the manufacturers, because we honestly don't really even know what they're all putting in baby food. Let's be 100. And then I read an article on Vice President Kamala Harris. So as we talk about baby formula and making sure that we have the children well fed, so to speak, the other talk on that side is, now that we don't have anything to feed children, we want to go ahead and reverse Roe versus Wade, so that y'all can keep the babies, even though we don't even have enough milk to feed the babies that are here. But we're going to make you make a decision with your body as a woman, and tell you what you need to do, what we're going to make you do.
So you just divided those two together, like you really about to, hey, do you think?
No, because it does go, because it's like, we can't do this, but we want to tell you what you need to do to your body. And the reality is this, America only has shortages when money is involved. Let's be honest. Gas prices go up because we want more money from somebody. Okay. Like, so baby formula, and people went to sites in Canada, and Canada's shipping baby formula to the US. So that tells me that it's not a manufacturer issue. It is a money issue, because that's what politics and greed breed: money. Anyway, I know right now I'm on this rant, but the reality is this, okay, y'all. We need to figure out how to live without society or these systems making us do what we need to do. You know, women, we have breasts, we can breastfeed if we can. Not every woman can produce enough milk for their child. If not, we need to go back to old-fashioned ways as a solution, because we're so reliant on government systems to do things for us that now it's all about, they have a whole nother agenda that we don't even see right as of right now, but we will. Then let's go to abortions. Okay. So I'm gonna be 100 with y'all. I'm about to just be 100. Okay. Like we'll just started off this show and now it just got me hyped. So let's just talk about it. Okay. I personally don't believe in abortion for me. However, I 150% agree that no one should ever tell a woman what to do with their body at all. That is a decision and a choice that you get to make for your life, for your child's betterment, for whatever the case may be, for whether it's rape, incest, whether it's you just laid down and had one of those nights and woke up and was like, oh, this is not what I want to do, you know, whatever reason is your reason. And I think that a lot of people lost touch with that. And if this gets turned over, it's gonna cause hell. Because if we go back to history, because history always repeats itself, there were Black women in basements getting hangers put up them to have abortions because it was told that they weren't supposed to. We do not want that to start to happen where people feel like now we have to do something in secret that's going to cause harm to our bodies that could lead to death, long-term issues internally, cancer, all this stuff, right? And so the bottom line is this: it's a scary time right now where 2-3 years ago there was the right to marry same sex, and now, or maybe 4 years ago, there was a right to, or maybe a little longer than that, and I'm sorry if my timing is off, where people can love who they want to love, marry who they want to love, be with who they want to be with, and it be in the court of the law. Now the law wants to say, we're going to reverse that and allow you to not be able to make a decision for yourself. The problem I have is that I feel like if they reverse this, they're also going to reverse other laws. Because who says that they can't? Right? The right to vote, the right to, like, where are we going? And that's where the bottom line is. Where are we going? I believe President or Vice President Kamala mentioned the same thing, like overturning Roe versus Wade opens the door to restricting other rights like gay marriage, and other things. And I just feel like we should have a say in our bodies. And if we don't, it's going to be a ruckus. It's going to be chaos. And I just want these old-fashioned old white people that sit on the board, that decide to make these decisions and overturn them.
Well, don't forget it's old ass Clarence Thomas up there too. So I mean,
oh yeah, that's true. Yeah, but well, that's true. Yeah. So I say this to say, listen, we need to continue to be proactive in our communities, but we need to continue to vote for the right people to be in these places, because this Roe versus Wade is going to change some things. And honestly, that means Planned Parenthood is probably going to go away, and so many resources. And my thing is, if it wasn't for those resources when I was a teenager, maybe it could have been worse. You know what I'm saying? Having somebody to talk to, having a place to go to GYN and all that good stuff. Like, we matter. And I really hope that this doesn't happen, because it's gonna be an uproar. And I read that they're preparing for it to be an uproar. So that's all I gotta say on that, because it really, really bothers me at this point. Everything bothers me right now.
So I mean, you said a lot there. So I was grasping at what you were saying. So Roe v. Wade is definitely something that I definitely don't agree with. I'm not one of those people that's going to sit here and tell you, oh, I hate abortion, oh, I love abortion, because for me, I'm an ally. Like, I'm not here to give you my thought on it, because I can't have fucking kids. Like, I can't bear children. Like,
right.
For me, it's about a woman's right in what she deems to be comfortable for herself, because number one, we don't understand the circumstances with which a woman may be bringing a child into this world. We don't understand the circumstances with which the conception happened. For me, I believe it is a travesty for you to believe that these people can sit in their robes up high, especially when you consider who's in that room.
Right.
And you can decide for millions, maybe billions of people of what they can or cannot do with their bodies.
Right.
That's not my fight. The big thing about Roe v. Wade that I pay attention to, like you said, is the fact that it could set a precedent to literally limit or kill off the civil rights of so many individuals. So we're not just looking at abortion and what women can do with their bodies. We're looking at, like you said, we're looking at marriage. We're looking at individuals who are deciding to consider themselves trans. We're looking at a number of different things that should be normal and should be allowed to have that choice. You know what I mean? So it's like one of those things where I'm like, okay, so if you're beginning to do this, then it seems like the whole goal is for you to continually control what individuals can do on a normal basis. And that's not what the United States of America is supposed to be doing.
Right.
I do believe, of course, like I said before, all this always comes down to people being put in office. You know what I mean? It comes down to people literally understanding that, yo, you know, I may not agree with this person, but I need to go down here so I can vote, so that my sister can maintain her rights, so that my family can stay safe and we can pass these laws. And I think that that's the most important thing. And unfortunately, it's such a, I don't know the word that I'm looking for. It seems like such a normal thing now that we're waking up and it's like normal human rights is just kind of taken away. Then when you look at the formula issue, I was reading an article that was talking about the Department of Agriculture, I believe, used to have a law that stated that when the baby powder was returned to the WIC clinics, they had to destroy it. So Georgia's actually been doing that up until recently, I believe. Mm-hmm. So when you're looking at these type of things happening, you literally have to consider that so many of these laws were made in such an olden time by older people who are either no longer here or completely out of touch. Right. And they need to be revisited because, you know what I'm saying? If the whole goal is to protect democracy and to protect people's rights, we're failing. We're not doing that at all. You know, now with the Defense Acts, this is actually something that's been used recently. I believe Biden actually used the Defense Act to get more vaccines here. I believe there was also something used for electric batteries for cars recently also. I think the first time it was used actually by Truman in the 50s, and that had something to do with the military. We've seen we've seen it happen for disasters, for things of that nature. So you know, I'm seeing some people being like, oh, I can't believe he's doing this. No, this is something normal. Presidents have
has been done
for decades. It's just that now we're talking about baby formula, which is rough. And the one thing that I also thought was weird was I was on Twitter and I was seeing a lot of people say, well, the shortage is only here in the US because apparently Canada has it all. I think they were saying if you go on Amazon and you switch it to Canada, you can get formula and there's no problem. Yeah. So everything that it comes down to, it doesn't seem like it's a worldwide problem. Everything is us problem. It's an us problem. It's an us problem. And we look silly. We look slow. So, man, I don't know, man. I don't know what's going on with this world right now. I wish I could go back to when it was simple to when we were just upset about what was in our Happy Meals, but
Please, do they even give toys out in happiness? I don't think they do that no more.
No, they do. I think they still do, but I think like now it's like you got to figure out what healthy foods or something you want in it. So it's weird, but it's like Vice President Harris stated. She said overturning Roe vs. Wade opens the door, of course, to restricting things such as gay marriage, which I personally feel like that's what they want. Like I feel like that this is ultimately what it's leading to.
Yeah,
because you got to find another reason to hate.
but that's not going to happen while Biden's in office.
I mean, I hope not. But if we don't get out, if folks don't get out and vote in these primary elections, he already gonna have no power. Unfortunately, I don't consider myself to be a Democratic or a Republican. I consider myself to be a person that just wants to vote for the motherfucker who's gonna make life easier on me. But the fact of the matter is that Democrats don't make it easier on themselves, because you get in office and then you have all this control, and then people feel like, oh, you're not doing anything, and you want to do things right, and you want to make sure that, oh, we do things by the book. Man, them Republicans don't care. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
They don't give two shits about doing things right. Mitch McConnell, old nutneck ass, is going to continue to say no to everything that seems like it's completely common sense until the day he's up out of there. So I don't want to say the day he died, because I love
he got to live with that. So yeah.
So it's a lot.
Well, on that note,
we got real political. That's crazy.
We started it. Yeah, you started it. So why not?
I was pissed, man. I'm not gonna lie. I was excited to come back and start filming again. We had been talking about this, you know what I'm saying? We had various things that we had going on that we were trying to take care of. And I'm excited to be able to come back and do this on a weekly basis. But it's just sometimes like I don't want to, sometimes you can't really start to zone out laughing and joking, especially when you feeling what you're feeling.
Right.
And this is one of them times, but
it is what it is. It is what it is. It's what we're facing, and that's what the show is about, is talk about the things that impact us and affect us, and what we need to change, or just our perspective on it, point being, period. So moving on to something else that is a little more light, I guess. Kendrick Lamar came out with a new album. It is called Mr. Morrow, right?
Mr. Morrow and the Big Steppers.
Yes. And I listen to this maybe every day while I'm walking. It's kind of motivating. But after you've heard the first album, what are your thoughts? Or first listen, for a few songs, what are your thoughts on this?
I think it's a good album. Let me tell you something. What I hate when folks get a hold of an album, it's only been out for like 8 hours, and they're like, oh, it's a classic. Yo, saying he dropped the classic. Oh, he's the GOAT. Right? Like, oh, this album is trash. Oh, I can't believe it.
Right.
Listen, you don't get a full understanding of an album sometimes 2-3 months in, but at least give it a week before
or do a run. You got to at least listen to it 3 times.
But 3 times fully, not 3 times like rewinding to your favorite part.
From beginning to end, because then you'll know what's your favorite song. You'll know if you like the whole album from beginning to end. You'll realize if you're going to start skipping songs, because I've started doing that. I'm
going to be honest, right? And I was in a group chat and they was cooking me for it. This album is okay. I'm saying it from a standpoint of somebody who understands mental health. Like, I like what Kendrick spoke on. I thought it was some great things. But if you ask me if this is going to be like my favorite Kendrick album ever, it's not.
I think his first album is my favorite. It's going to always be. It was just magnificent. This was eye-opening, necessary for a Black man to shed light on in rap and hip hop. I love his vulnerability. I thought that was necessary. and his wordplay was really good. But will I say it's his best album? No, but I feel like it was his healing album. It's what he also needed to put out for himself. Like this album was a for himself album. It wasn't for the people alone.
I don't know. I mean, I'm gonna say it was for the people and for himself. Like it was. Don't get me wrong. It was a dope album. Like
it is a dope album.
I'm saying from front to back. But the question that was asked of me was, yo, is this my favorite? Like, is this Kendrick go out? And for me, I'm gonna say no. Like I still
not my favorite.
I still listen to Damn probably at least once or twice a week.
Yeah.
But I get this. I felt like he went into a lot. I mean, you know what I'm saying? He talked about he talked about his relationship. You know what I mean? He talked about, you know what I mean, the pride. He talked about the depression. I mean, he talked about a lot
of family issues and the generational curses that we carry as Black people. So I think that this was such an eye-opening, awakening album, because my hope is that he opened the door for other artists to feel comfortable with saying what's really going on. It's not all drug selling and
I don't think that's going to be the case.
We're gonna see.
Because if we're being honest, the album that probably would open a lot of people's eyes was 444, and that's an underrated album. Like Jay was.
It did open some people's eyes though,
but it didn't make people feel super comfortable, like to be like, oh, let me say this, because
you're
corny.
You're a billionaire having this. It's a totally different perspective when you make an album like this as a billionaire.
Nah, because it literally shows the vulnerability that this can happen to anything. Like, yo, Jay almost fumbled the bag technically. You know what I'm saying? Like,
you don't need the bag. That's the reality.
I'm saying Jay almost went out like Eric Benet. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, he said that.
Let's keep it a buck. You know what I'm saying?
He did say that.
I do think that Mr. Moore and the Big Seven was an excellent album. It's something that you probably gonna, play repeatedly. For me though, I'm like, I like Kendrick, but like fam, like I was ready to fight after I listened to the album, because boy had me in my feelings, and I was like, all right, you know what?
Kendrick, he took you back. Well,
because it gave me the what I already knew. I mean, because I'm an advocate for therapy. But it just kind of solidified what what I already knew and the struggles that we go through. But it was very different hearing it from him. You know what I mean? Because it's like, that's Kendrick. Like, Kendrick is super woke, and my boy was on there talking about beating down the white Jones. You know what I'm saying?
I love that.
Not fighting, but
I love that. I love that. I love that. I love that. I loved all of that. Let's put it that way. And for me, coming from a person who really was a real rap, hardcore hip hop fan, I had
Dies Effect still.
I listen to Wu-Tang still too.
Well, I was just saying, because people don't know, you should be listening to Dies Effects, because they came out when you was in high school, right?
Dies Effects came out way before I was in high school, but that's neither here nor there. Anyway, I will say that I enjoyed being at my age, being able to listen to a rap album from beginning to end. I don't have many albums right now that come out that I listen to from beginning to end.
You don't have any rap albums.
Well, I like Pusha T's, and I know we talked about that. I liked his album. I liked his album from beginning to end.
Pusha don't do nothing for me.
But I don't have any other recent people that I'm like, oh my God, I loved it from beginning to end. I'm not listening to this, some of this music today.
I'm not saying Pusha can't rap, because Pusha can rap.
He has bars.
I'm saying I get tired of hearing the same rap from Pusha. Everything is about the baking soda and the powder. That's
Young Jeezy though too.
Okay, when's the last time you seen Jeezy come out with a whole damn album? A whole damn album.
He hasn't.
A whole album. There was a time for it. Like, fam, like, yo, rap about your McDonald's deal, B. You know what I'm saying? You out here rapping for Arby's now. Let's rap about that.
Well,
it's the same thing, and y'all be like, oh, Pusha T, like. yo, fam, like I get it, but come on, big dog. Like, really?
Okay.
Baking soda? I want to know how many times he says baking soda or Coke in his album. Like, I need somebody to like get me the number of times he said this in his album. You know what I'm saying?
We can pull up lyrics. We could do a lyric search. I'm sure somebody already counted it.
It's a lot, yo. And it's just like, yo, push, yo, all right, push. We like you a vibe, fam. But and then there's questions like, and then like his people was like, oh, he never lived this life. So it's like, come on, like,
all right,
yo,
whatever.
People,
the bottom line is, I do like this
like,
album.
Yo, your brother. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying.
Pusha T, I mess with your album, despite what Will's saying. I mess with your album.
Push, I'm not saying you're not a bad rapper, baby, but I'm saying give me something else besides the Coke. You know what I'm saying? You a multi-millionaire now, baby. I know you doing more than rapping about Coke.
But if he did, that's not his lane. He's staying his lane. He already said on Drink Champs, his core audience is only on the East Coast. It's Pennsylvania, DMV, New Jersey, New York. He said that's his reach.
We ain't all just talking about Coke on the East Coast. We talk about other stuff.
Well, that's what he want to rap about. Leave that man alone. Anyway.
And then y'all get on and then y'all get on people like Drizzy and J. Cole for what they rap about, or Wale, but
no, I like Wale.
Rapping about
no, I like Wale and J. Cole. You know, never mind. Okay.
I have to say something completely out of pocket, not silly.
But I held that back.
So based off this album, where does Kendrick rank all the time for you now? Like, is he top 5 ever? Is he top 10?
5. He's never been in my top 5, so he's not top 5. No, we not about to say who my top 5 is. Who's your top 5?
Who's your top 5?
Okay, my top 5 is so hard. It's
in order?
Hard. No, it's not in order. It won't be in order because I can't put it in order. No, I can't put it in order.
Wow, that's lame.
Whatever.
Please top 5.
Okay. Top 5. Raekwon. He's just one of them. Jay. I will say Jay. So hard. I'm still gonna say Tupac. I ain't never not gonna say Tupac, and that's just what it's gonna be. Okay. That's hard.
That's 3. It's 2
that's
more.
3.
And I'm telling you right now, you are missing somebody so significant, and I'm coming.
But I want to say Biggie, but I want to say Biggie because he's the only person I really cried when he died. You know, and I feel like I don't know if it was just the era at that time.
Okay, so that's 4.
But again, you're making me say top 5, and this is really difficult.
I mean, it is difficult, but I'm just saying it's your top 5. I mean, it's subjective, so.
So neck and neck. There's a 5A and 5B. Busta Rhymes.
Okay.
Lyrically, Jada.
I respect
that. Who's your now? It ain't gonna be nobody from who's your top
5? In no order. Hove, Big, Black Thought.
Not my top 5.
Common, and underrated, right? Underrated. Q-Tip.
Q-Tip is definitely up there. He's
how
probably 6.
How you miss Black Thought? Black Thought will rap.
I know, but I wasn't. I didn't listen to him like that. To tell you, I wasn't like playing in my car 24/7. So I can't. I'm not knocking. No, he's a great MC. Like I'm not taking that away. But I just can't say like, oh, that's who. That was my number. No, not my top.
Well, for me,
top 10, he would be in the 10.
Cole coming.
Oh yeah, I always thought Cole was nice. He did this. Yeah. Okay. I'm not gonna say anything bad. This is a one of those random long episodes, y'all. We just gonna apologize right now because it is what it is.
Well, I mean, we had to start the show in different ways. I'm fine. I don't care, man.
Right.
They gonna listen to it or not. Man.
So this is the first and last time we're gonna discuss this because I'm over it. Chris Rock, Will Smith. We know Will is a Will Smith like fanatic. However,
I mean, that's silly. So don't.
Or not, whatever. I'm just saying, I like Will Smith, but whatever. So ABC mentioned that they are going to open Rock to hosting next year. But the question is, do you think they're doing it to be trendy?
Of course they are.
Or are they genuinely like, oh, we really feel bad for Chris Rock and he's a great host and we think he should do it again?
I think it's a little both. If we're being honest, it's a little both because, I mean, don't get me wrong, Chris Rock is a great host no matter what you do. You know
right, and that's not his first time. Like he's hosted a lot.
But at the same time, it's a moment. Mm-hmm. And it's a moment that they're attempting to fully take advantage of, which I don't mind. I mean, it is what it is. I think what I hate the fact that, granted, mistakes were made. Will was out of line, but at the end of the day, we're crucifying this man. Like, and you know what's funny is that, like, yo, they're crucifying this man, but I'm seeing a lot of white celebrities who never say anything about
Jim Carrey. Like Jim Carrey, who's
Jim Carrey. I'll give him the benefit of the doubt for the simple fact that Jim Carrey speaks up about a lot of stuff. You know what I'm saying? Jim Carrey will be the first to tell you, like, yo, black people gave me my shot, whatever. So I don't think it's clout for Jim Carrey. But when I'm seeing, like, what's his name, Jude Apatow or Amy Schumer, and they're like, oh, I felt threatened. You felt threatened by Will Smith. Like, Will Smith is probably the nicest person in Hollywood based off what people say.
But you gotta remember, like, that's why Hollywood is so fake to me, and that's why I don't like, like LA. Like, I would have to live there and be a certain kind of person because I feel like they're the same people that would be in his face, like, "Oh, Will, you did a great job, great, love you, da da da." And then
work with you, Will.
Yeah, I can't wait to, for the next whatever. And then the next day it's like, oh my gosh, Will did what? And it's like, he's human at the end of the day. He's human. We all have our moments, and you don't know when you're gonna break. It happened to be on TV. Did Chris Rock deserve that? No, he didn't deserve that. But does that mean drag Will's name in the mud? No, get him help. But that's what society does, right? We point fingers. When you're on our side, we're like, we love you, you're great, you're the best person. You do something normal that the average person does or get to that edge, then it's like, oh my gosh, we're canceling you because you did this. And now we're in cancel culture and everybody get canceled every 5 seconds because they did something that was normal, that was human, that, like, there's no perfect person. And I think whether you're a celebrity or not a celebrity, you still deal with some of the same issues. You just got more money than me. That's it.
But I want to point out something. Scotty Beam on Twitter. Scotty Beam she's a High 97 alumni. She's baddie too. But whatever. I digress. Scotty Beam made a statement that fits so much into exactly what I said. And she says, remember when celebrities were traumatized over smack between two grown-ass men? How loud are they now that an anti-Black hate crime killed 10 people in Buffalo? And then she specifically called out Amy Schumer. And she said quickly. And then, she tagged it and she said, she tagged what Jude Apatow said. And she said, can you imagine saying this about Will Smith and not saying this about the racist asshole who killed 10 people in a grocery store?
Because they were Black?
And what you said was about the Chris Rock incident was he could have killed him. That's pure out of control rage and violence. They've heard a million jokes about them in the last 3 decades. They are not freshmen in the world of Hollywood and comedy. He lost his mind. And she made a great point because you can't be completely outraged about one thing and not be outraged about another.
And
like,
that's
yes,
right.
It was a moment, but where are you at times where you're supposed to be speaking up? And why aren't you saying these things? And this is what bothers me about Hollywood and how they treat Black men, because if you would have guessed it last year, if somebody would have told you at the end of the year, yo, Hollywood is gonna hate Will Smith and it's gonna be white.
No one would have believed you.
Nobody would have believed you.
Nope.
You know what I'm saying? But it's trendy. But the thing about it is, if we're playing devil's advocate, you gotta look at what Chris Rock has also done. Like, in that situation, Chris was completely out of line, whether he realized it or not. These were his friends, so you have to have an understanding of what's being said. And then after that, they were bringing up old clips of like him like allowing people like to say the word nigga, like Louis C.K. and I watched Jerry Seinfeld cringe through that entire thing, and it's just like you're picking one thing over the other because you literally want to see this man crumble and you want to see this man fall. And then with the David Letterman interview coming out, now all of a sudden everyone wants to dissect it, and everybody went to college and they got a PhD and they're a psychologist. Hey, yo, shut up. Like, yo, it happened. But
and it's over. It happened. Now the healing takes place and move on. Like, that's what annoys me, how caught up we get on that. But then, like you just said, like, even what happened in Boston, nobody's talking about that. What are y'all getting these 18 and 19 and 20, 21-year-old white boys help? Are y'all at home making sure that y'all guns are locked up, that your kids don't get access to them?
What no. In this issue with Chris Rock and Will Smith, and this is the last thing I'll say about it, is that it's very funny to me how we preach about mental health and understanding and knowing that people have moments. But at a point in time when Will Smith was literally at his worst moment, he, like, you know what I'm saying? We saw it on stage. People are still going for him mentally. And then when these Hollywood people take pills and they pass away and they commit suicide, it's, oh my God, I didn't see this happening. Yes, the fuck you did, because you did it with your tweet. You did it with what you said in the media. You did it with your actions. Like, be accountable for it. And we all get jokes off. And you have to understand the difference between when to run with the joke and when to let that shit go. Right. This is something that needs to be let go and allow that man to get help and allow him to heal. Clearly, there's something deeper there that nobody understands and nobody knows about. But within 24 hours, everyone was ready to ridicule him and destroy him for it. That sucks.
And that's it. And the reality is, at this point, it's time to lay this to rest and let these two Black men figure out how to heal and move forward and not drag either of them down any further, because they both went through stuff. You know, I don't negate either past of neither one of them. And I think that Hollywood just expects you to be this perfect individual, and we're not, right? We're human. And so when people start to acknowledge that, then you'll realize, like, could this person snap? Yes. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you sure can. So it could be you too. All right, moving on.
If you say something about me, I'm a join you. You know what I'm saying? If your mom's cockeyed, I'm probably gonna talk about your mom being cockeyed. I feel like you attacking me, like I want you to fight me. I grew up a fat kid in North Philly. So it really ain't too much that you can say to me that's gonna bother me either way. You know what I'm saying? So when I blow up, I just want y'all to know I ain't perfect, man. I got nothing but skeletons that I've already laid out, and I probably said it to you in some form of fashion. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, just imperfect will. You know what I'm saying?
That's it.
If you see me wearing like skinny jeans or I Love Lucy t-shirt or something, then that's
smack them. Smack them.
Let me tell you something. If you run up on me and you smack me,
them.
You're gonna get a whole subscription to heaven. I'm gonna tell you that right now. Don't do it. Don't listen to Shakira.
Have you seen Will wearing some skinny jeans?
Shakira got her
Echo.
vacation braids in and she feeling herself, but she been on the spill. You know what I'm saying? Because her DM's been popping. Do not listen to Shakira. If you run up on me, you're gonna get a subscription and your ass ain't gonna be able to read it. I'm just gonna put it there. Don't do it, big fella. You know what I'm saying? I didn't listen. I already
Oh
told
my
you.
gosh.
You listen to that nonsense if you want to. I'm with it at all times. I love the Lord and I'm perfectly imperfect. But if you run up on me, listen, I hope you got your affairs in order. That's all I'm gonna say. Okay.
All right. Moving on. Speaking of people going down, Young Thug and Gunna are facing RICO charges plus more. That's racketeering, that's conspiracy, that could be hiring someone for murder, that could be gang related. And don't get it twisted, these two are very young rappers. If you don't know who they are, Google, because this is not your encyclopedia. But they are two young rappers in their 20s, late 20s. I think one of them is 30. But still, they're young. And the things that they did in the past is catching up to their future right now. So the question is social media helping or hurting our culture as celebrities are more and more on Twitter, whether they're ranting back at their fans, or going against public scrutiny, or lies and rumors of them, or truths. Do you think social media is helping or hurting? Because social media, in their case, and their rap lyrics and things that have said, kind of incriminated this long drawn out case that they have had against them for the last few years, that police was building up to, and then they started to dissect their music and kind of realize some of the things really happened.
You said a mouthful. What's the question?
The question is, do you think that social media is helping or hurting our culture from a celebrity standpoint of the things that people say that they're doing?
I personally believe that it's a double-edged sword. If you're using it the right way, it's definitely a help to the culture because of what it provides. But if you're using it in the wrong way and you're telling yourself, that's where the negativity comes in, and that's where it's a double-edged sword. Like, you have to look at the fact that right now there's something out there called the what is it? They're working on a bill right now to actually stop rap lyrics from being used in the court of law. I believe it's called the
rap music on trial bill.
Is that what it's called? Because I was sitting there saying rap music on trial, but I didn't want to say that because it sounded.
No, that is what the name of the bill is right now.
So it's like, it's just one of those things where it's like, yes, lyrics should not be used against you in the court of law, but at the same time, it's like, bro, like you know what I'm saying? It's like a Boondocks episode. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We like playing for the defendant and the jury in the trial. You know what I'm saying? Like, Thugalicious was out here talking reckless. You know what I'm saying? Thugalicious really wasn't about that life. But then the stuff that he was doing came out, you know what I'm saying? And it wrecked him. So it's just one of those things where it's like, we're not helping ourselves with a lot of these rap lyrics. We're not helping ourselves with the things that we're putting out here into the universe. And we're all guilty of singing and rapping it. You know what I'm saying? But at the same token, it's one of those things where we have to be smarter.
Right, because my thing is, are other cultures doing that? People, you know what I mean? Like, and then the thing about it is 15, 20 years ago, rap artists could only have their lyrics, but they weren't on social media showing the pictures and the videos and here's all my guns and let me show you my whole closet set up with all the guns I got. And some of them are registered, a lot not.
I ain't gonna say other genres aren't, because other genres do get wild. Like, if you ever listen to some of these country music songs, like, shorties be out here talking about literally murdering their husbands. You know what I'm saying? And then like Kathy Jean out in Iowa literally murdered her husband while she was listening to like the Dixie shit or something, which I like.
Right. I do
but,
like the Dixie shit.
We have to understand that rap music is always going to be on attack. Like we're a culture that is constantly is constantly copied.
Yeah, and scrutinized. We've been scrutinized for years of lyrics.
Yet when it's really time to be black,
right,
don't nobody want to be black. You know what I'm saying? So
right, but everybody want to be black right now.
When Lil Bobby out here screaming G Unit and that murder case come, Lil Bobby is Robert and he don't know nothing about it. He listens to Garth Brooks, you know what I'm saying, in his spare time. So it's one of those things, unfortunately. And then they Gunna actually recently they revoked his bond. So like he's in jail until
he may be there.
His trial is like January of 2023.
Yeah, they one may be there longer than the other. Let's say that. And then
I haven't heard much about what's going on with Thug. I know like
I seen
I heard somebody said he was getting out.
I don't know. Well, we'll stay tuned to that and update you guys because I did see the video where he got upset that his team wasn't answering the phone. Nobody, like all the people he done helped and gave money to, nobody has been reaching out to check on him and see how things, but that's what I'm saying. Like you got to be careful with who your crew is because they your crew when you got that money, but when you don't got that money, they don't know who you are. They out here spending your joints and then
I'm torn because like, I don't want to be one of the people that's like, oh man, freedom dudes, and then they really did stuff. And it's like, yo, you got a whole master's degree, dumbass, and you don't know better. But at the same token, I can't speak on it. But RICO charges, man, when they get your RICO charges, that means they studied it.
They got evidence.
They studied it and they know. So it's just one of those things where
it might be a wrap. But here's the thing, they young. They do 10 years. They'll be out. They'll be all right.
You ain't getting no 10 years on RICO charges.
I'm just saying it depends.
I need you to research that.
I'm just saying.
You get research charges. Remember how you said going to the upper room, essentially?
Okay, let's say they get 20. Let's say they get 20.
For RICO charges?
Listen, I'm just saying it's possible. If you get the right attorney, you can get, there's people that get off all day and they got murdered. They murder people. So I'm just saying, look, anything is possible with money in America.
Bro, you said, wait a minute. You said RICO charges 10 to 20 years. The minimum amount, so the statute of limitations for the prosecution to charge a person with RICO conspiracy is 5 years from the date of when the crime arose or the conduct ends, right?
Okay.
But the minimum that you get, the mandatory minimum for RICO charges for somebody who's convicted is at least 20 years.
Right. Okay. I said 20. Okay.
They got them on 181 counts.
It's a high possibility. But listen, I believe anything is possible.
Listen,
with money in America, it is. Listen, I know people now. Okay, I know people. No, I'm not. I'm just about to say, I am aware of criminals that have gotten off from things that they actually did.
No, that's facts. And listen, when I say this, I'm not saying this to be an advocate to be like, oh, I don't want y'all come back saying, yo, Will say he wants to see them in jail. No, that ain't what I said, fam. What I said is I'm stating the obvious. You know what I'm saying? And I got family who's. But
if you do the crime, you need to do the time. I'm an advocate of that.
So you're an NBC school special now? Nobody's trying to hear that, man.
I'm saying, listen, my thing is you can't call yourself, I'm out here influencing people and all these kids looking up to you, and then you out here doing the same, like, I don't.
You mean like the politicians?
The same thing, right. Same thing. They're no different. They're no different. So
politicians need to be out here getting caught up on racketeering and
it's just that again, money in America. money in America will hush a lot of people up. That's the
Mhm.
world we live in.
I guess.
Like, it is what it is. So my last question is, and this is just even whether you're a rapper or you're not rapper, do you think that people even consider their past when they're on their way to a successful startup future? Do they consider, would you know what I'm saying? We may not be where we want to be right now, but there is an end goal for us to be a certain place. You know what I'm saying? Like,
So you saying on our way to where we want to go to the top, like the Tonight Show,
right,
all that kind
right,
of stuff.
right,
Do I consider my past when I think about my future?
right.
Hell yeah. Because I wasn't perfect. You know what I'm saying? Listen, if you ain't got no dirt up under your mat, then you Jesus. Okay?
True.
Let's be honest.
That's facts.
But at the same point in time, when you get to a certain point or a certain age, or you get out, I presume once you get to a certain level of notoriety or success, the goal is literally to wipe all that out. Like you said, money takes care of a lot of things. But if you decide to make a change, like, you know what I'm saying? And for me, the shift in my life happened at, I'm not telling myself, 25, right?
Mm-hmm.
Since the age of 25, like I've always known what I wanted to do, what I wanted to be. Since I was 3, I wanted to be Regis Philbin. I didn't want to be anybody else.
Mm-hmm.
Granted, I took a lot of, twists and turns to get to this point where I'm at, you know what I mean? And someone had to remind me yesterday, like, yo, you're doing good. Like, shout out to MTMV Sports. And shout out to Shakira, because like Shakira saw this in me first. But the fact of the matter is, I wasn't where I was mentally. I wasn't thinking about that, because when you're in the streets or when you're involved in that kind of stuff, you're not thinking there's a way out. But when you are able to get a way out, all you want to do is change. Like, I don't listen. My friends will tell you, I'm a square. I don't go out no more. I don't do much. Yes, I am a gun owner. I carry my tool with me everywhere, because you're not about to catch me slipping. But at the same token, I've also prayed. I've made amends in my life with the things that I've done. But I can't compare it to what these gentlemen are going through, because from what the RICO charges saying, they were doing something completely, different at that point in time. They were still in the middle of it.
And they were young.
You would think that at a certain point in time that you'd be like, you know what, I got to clean this part up, this part of my life up. And I'm sure that's where they were also. But
not necessarily, because that mentality, you got to kick that mentality.
Well, that's what I'm saying. When you're in the middle of that, everyone's just like, oh, you're successful. Stop selling drugs. Stop being a part of this life. You don't just get out of this type of life overnight. No. That's a process. Like, I got homeboys who I've known since I was 19 who've been trying to get out of certain parts of that lifestyle, even up till now. Like, that's a process.
You get used to whatever you get. It's difficult, and that's any lifestyle, right? Like, no matter what you're doing, like at the end of the day, it's a mental thing to say, I'm trying to transition to get out of that. Because tomorrow, if I woke up and I got to check my bank account and it's just all these zeros and more zeros,
I'm be like, yo, let me hold. Like,
listen. The mentality, I'll be like, Lord, fix me right now.
But it shouldn't have to get those zeros in your account for you to make those changes. Like, you need to make yourself right and get right with Beyonce.
Right, but I think every day you're always striving to get something better. There'll never be a time in your life until you die. There's always going to be something you're trying to be better at.
I think the ultimate takeaway that you have to look at from this situation, if you got to see the clip of like Wallow talking to YSL when they were in the studio, is like, your life comes at you fast. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have to be prepared to deal with the consequences of everything that you do. Like, my mom has always been big on that. It's like, listen, I don't care what you do. Well, no, she wouldn't say she don't care. Like, she cared. But she's like, listen, if you're going to do something, you stand tall in that. You take responsibility for it. You be a man.
Right.
At the end of the day, that's what it comes down to. I mean,
because you made the decision.
Right. I'm definitely praying for everybody involved, you know what I'm saying? Because you don't never want to see nobody in jail, but I don't have no dog in this fight. You're not about to see me on Twitter talking about some old free such and such because of such and such did it. I look like a dumbass for saying it. You know what I'm saying? Listen, I've been there before. You'd be like, yo, free my dog. And you about, yo, your dog killed 8 people.
No,
you know what I'm saying?
I ain't never
say dog
free.
sandwiches for 2 weeks. Like, nah, I'm good.
I don't never say that because I already know you probably did it. So it's like, wow. I hope you get less time. You're
gonna assume that they did it?
No, I'm just saying, I hope you get less time. Like for people to have that type of evidence, I hope you get less time and I hope you learn your lesson. That's just all I can say is I hope you learn your lesson. We all did stuff. We've all done stuff. Now, you might not have done the same stuff that I've done and I may not have done the same stuff that you've done. But I thank God he done got me through some stuff that could have been bad. You know what I mean? Could have gone bad.
So the Beehive not looking for you no more? You and Beyonce cool?
I'm always cool with Beyonce. I like you. I like you.
Have you prayed about your friendship with George Bush when you was
anyway, moving on. All right. Well, we have just a few of some good news because Will's on that Will stuff that I'm not on right now. I am so happy for my girl Mary J. That was awarded the Icon Award by Janet Jackson. Her dress was so fly, like she said, she ghetto and fabulous at the same time, hood fabulous, whatever the case may be. But I love her. And I think it showed a lot for Janet to come out the house to present an award when she didn't really have to, you know.
They come out the house.
Listen, she just started being at some festivals now. And I've been looking her up because I really would love to see a Janet concert, no lie. Even at over 50. And I've seen Mary a few times. So that's my sister in my head. But it was well-deserved. Mary has gone through so much and she has brought so many women out of things, including me, from being 12, 13, 14 to today. And so I really just hope that she continues to love on herself and continue to get the recognition and flowers while she's alive. And Janet keep being the beautiful Janet that she is and the icon that she is. It was a really, really good show. And I'm really happy for that news. Next up,
Janet bad, Mary J bad. Y'all love Mary J, yo, but I'm gonna be honest. That Good Morning Gorgeous song is so depressing to me. It makes me so sad when I hear it.
It's one of the best songs.
Listen, I'm not saying that it's a bad song. But when I wake up at like 7 o'clock in the morning, they're like, oh, and now there's new Mary J. Blige. And she's like, good morning, gorgeous. I'm up and I gotta fight. And I'm like, damn, I need somebody to give Mary some happiness so we can get them Happy Mary songs.
Yeah, he gotta be a billionaire.
It makes a lot of women like, I love the way that it makes a lot of women like, empower themselves.
Right, it builds yourself.
Me so damn sad, bro. When she's like, eyes fight, it's time to fight. And I'm like, Mary, I'm gonna fight for you, girl. But come on, Mary.
It is a great song. You wanna know why? Because it is for the
on power.
It is for
she out here looking delicious. You know what I'm saying? Her
it's for the women.
Luxurious. We can't get a happy track of all that I can say. Yo, Mary hit me with the I gotta get up. Eyes right, time to fight. That's the one lyric that plays on my mind. I'm like, yo, Mary, it's 7 a.m. Okay?
Nobody told you to listen to it at that hour.
It's on. Yo, when I get up, my joint automatically plays and turns the radio on, and people love that song. But that joint be playing at 7 in the morning. I'm like, Mary, do you want me to get out of the bed this morning? Do you want me to be depressed?
Yes, no, it's supposed to be an empowering song because it gives you that confidence knowing that no matter what you're going through and what you're facing, you still got to get up and tell yourself
ain't nobody wake up in the last
gorgeous.
6 mornings and told Mary J. Blige that she was gorgeous. Ain't nobody done nothing.
She said nobody did that. She said in an interview, no one has ever called her gorgeous besides one person. That was the last man that she was with, and he stole everything from her. So clearly, she needs to tell herself, "Good morning, gorgeous."
Oh yeah, and everybody was a thief.
He was a thief. So it's all good.
Yo, shout out to Janet Jackson because I'd be like, funny how time flies when yeah, that's a.
All right, can we fly time now? Moving on. There was a tweet or notice of the social media gang, because clearly people be noticing when people unfollow the social media gang, because they be on it like, oh, you unfollow. I mean, like, who has time to search who's unfollowing? Like, it's not even your person.
The shade room.
Oh my gosh.
The shade room, because they don't do nothing else.
Jeez,
but the shade room be like, oh, we don't condone violence, and this is, oh my God, did you see Candy Murray slap that?
Like, it's ridiculous. So it's like, okay, so they noticed that that Cardi B and Offset stopped following Quavo and what's his name? The other Migos.
You don't know.
I know his name, but I can't think of it right now. I'm drawing a blank. Yeah, Takeoff. Okay. I don't, whatever.
You're just screaming gang. I thought you knew.
I said social media gang. Social media. Anyway, I do know who the three Migos are, but the bottom line is
it's not 20 anymore.
You got that right. And the bottom line is I really don't care that Cardi B and Offset stopped following them on social media, but the rumor is, are they breaking up?
No.
What if they're just fighting? And what if it's part of the social media? These people know how to make money.
You understand these dudes are family. That's
right. They're family.
It's probably temporary. I've been upset with my best friend because he let me talk greasy to some woman that I was in what's that?
Relations?
Joe's Crab Shack. I was in
Okay.
Joe's Crab Shack, and he let me do something reckless, and we broke up. We broke up the group for like 24 hours.
Right. But when people do that and they're celebrities,
yeah, it's
all for publicity. They about to drop another album. Like, what we doing?
I don't think it's all for publicity. I think they're gonna get their publicity out of it, but I don't think it's all for publicity. I think something probably really going on.
It could have been personal, right? Like, somebody's to unfollow you, but at the same time, it is about the money. People do it all the time. So, I mean, people are fools. Let's see how this plays out.
But people are fools. You because of your relationship with George Bush.
I don't have a relationship with George Bush. Anyhow, now we are approaching June, and officially it's going to be the first full year that they have declared Juneteenth as a holiday because there was freedom in Black people, and it's June 19th. However, like, I work for a company and they're celebrating it, and I was going to take the day off because I was like, I mean, I take the day off for y'all white holidays. I might as well take the day off.
Company that gives me the day off.
Good for you. They don't give it to me. I got to take PTO. So,
wow.
Right.
I bet you won't put them on blast.
I work time and a half though. I get extra money, but whatever.
I bet you won't put them on blast.
Oh,
don't do that. Don't do that.
Okay, because you already know. Don't dare me to do something like that because I'll put it out there right now.
Don't do that. Go on what you talking about, man.
So anywho, Walmart decided to make a little extra money this year and was like, since y'all out here having parades last year, we're gonna make sure that the barbecues are filled with plastic cups and plastic plates and Juneteenth and some special signs and napkins that say, it's the freedom for me.
It's on plates too.
It's the freedom for me. That is so disrespectful and so biased and racist, because to take our words, we be like, oh, it's the hair for me. Now y'all gonna say it's the freedom for me. Niggas, we were slaves. So No, I'm not. So, but to sit here and be like, so I really listen, Black people, white people, all people, if you hear this.
They put the trademark on Juneteenth on that trash ass ice cream.
I know. Oh, and the ice cream. That's Neapolitan too. It's
But I
like
heard they pulled, no, it's red velvet, like red velvet and cheesecake. But I
it's
heard they pulled it because of the backlash. I'm just gonna say this, right? If I see you at a cookout and you it's the freedom for me napkin or plate in your hand, whatever you eating on, I'm gonna slap it out your throat.
no, they need to pull all of it. Don't you buy no Juneteenth. Now if y'all want to do something,
It's gonna be at the Dollar Tree.
yo, it is gonna be at the Dollar Tree for real, for real. It's gonna be at the Dollar Tree.
The Dollar
I bet,
Tree.
you know what? I'm gonna go test to see if the Dollar Tree already selling some Juneteenth. If I see a Juneteenth flag, I'm gonna go in the store and just start throwing stuff all over.
But then what's crazy is they didn't even use the right colors for it either. Like colors are all wrong. But I'm serious. If I see you eating like a rib or a McChicken sandwich,
and then I seen some of y'all Black people talking about, I don't know, I kind of like the ice cream flavors. Don't y'all do it?
Wait a minute.
I've seen
Call the people
comments.
out.
I've seen several. I don't know.
What are their names?
The people that I follow. That
okay,
they
if it's people that you follow,
I don't know.
I think I got it.
No, I've seen them in the comments. I've seen them in the comments say stuff like, I can't believe they're selling this, but I don't know. These flavors look kind of fire. And if y'all go and waste y'all money on this Juneteenth crap, the bottom line is if y'all want to do something for Juneteenth, go support a Black business.
First of all, the universal flavor of the Black ancestors is butter pecan. Okay.
Right.
So don't even.
Y'all would have known that if y'all would have polled us the right way. As it's butter pecan, it's pretty much any chocolate.
Cookies and cream.
Chocolate. Cookies and cream.
We need a whole show where we just discuss the Black representation of food. But there is an actual company, Black owned company in Walmart that sells a product. Like you could have took that and you could have pushed that money.
That's what I'm saying. All the Black companies that are in Walmart, y'all could have reached out to them and said, we would like y'all to do something special for Juneteenth so we can promote it and y'all get the profits for whatever, and then the proceeds we're gonna donate to the Black fund or a bank or something like that. But no, they didn't do that. So my thing is, y'all, I feel like we should just boycott Walmart for Juneteenth. Like, Black people don't go there. But I know y'all love Walmart. Y'all love Walmart. So that's really a high ask to ask y'all, because y'all love Walmart. I hate standing in lines, and I hate going to the populated areas, especially around here where I live, because it's everybody, it's all colors.
You'll get off your soapbox.
And it's just too much. And I don't like Walmart. I don't. So now I do the pickup.
You go to Target, don't you?
Yes, nigga. And I go to Target. I go to Target.
I can't believe you talking to me like this.
And I go to Target, and I also I do the pickup for Walmart. If I want to order anything from Walmart, I'm bougie with it. I will order on the app and wait for my car to come around and do that. So
I'm not gonna lie to you, COVID is still out here. That Walmart drop off at my door is clutch, and I ain't got to talk.
You know what I'm saying? Everything's drop off at my door.
Even though Walmart, my cucumber melon Gatorade wasn't delivered. Okay, so I'm gonna need my matter of fact, they're gonna hear about
y'all. Did y'all hear he said cucumber watermelon?
No, I didn't say cucumber watermelon. I said cucumber melon.
Okay, because I was gonna say, because we just got off of the Juneteenth, and now you're talking about where your watermelon. We're not doing that.
Bro, don't try to.
I was just making sure, because I'm like, now you really going into the stereotypes.
This is literally the goodest episode that we've ever done. I feel slightly ashamed of this episode, even though it was so good.
This episode is good.
Completely out of pocket, bro. Like, you were out here cursing. You were out here talking.
I was not cursing. I don't even curse. If anybody knows me, knows that I don't curse. I
heard you curse a couple days ago on the phone. Don't do that.
You did not. Anyway, okay, moving on. Man,
let's wrap this show up, bro, before I have to say something to you out here. You know what I'm saying? Wrapping it up. Your last thoughts. What are you listening to? What are you watching?
Oh my gosh. So I am watching I forgot the name of the movie. That's how bad it is. With Julia name. It's on Netflix. Dag nabbit.
It's not important.
Julia Roberts.
Netflix just dropped all the black people from they black content joint, and you gonna tell me that you watching a Netflix movie about Julia Roberts, but you want me about Cucumber Melon? Get out. Moving on.
But it's good. And then as far as what I'm listening to, I'm still listening to Kendrick. That is what I listen to every day when I go for my morning walks. And it's been good. Other than that, I don't know. I'm about to get me a record player. I'm about to be on some like real jazz kind of feel with the record player.
Like when you was like 20.
A record player?
Yeah.
A record player has been out way before me. A record player? Not a CD player, son. A record player.
You see how she just called me, son? Shorty showing her.
Oh my gosh. All right. This has been a wonderful episode. And we thank you.
I don't get to tell you what I'm watching and what I'm listening to?
Go ahead.
You know what? You've been real aggressive, disrespectful when you try to tell these people that you don't be cussing. Yo, she's different behind the scenes. Don't get it twisted. Y'all seen how she attacked Beyonce. So what I'm currently listening to, honestly, yo, I'm on an R&B kick right now. After 7 dropped the album a couple months ago. It's actually
like a new album?
Yeah. So
like not a remake of.
I said yes, woman. After 7, go research it. It's a new album. I'm listening to After 7. I'm listening to Tim's. And I'm still on that Silk Sonic. I'm so mad I can't go see them in Las Vegas. I wish I could.
When are they in Las Vegas?
They're in Las Vegas till August, but my schedule is like super busy, so I can't make it.
I don't want to be.
What I'm watching, I'm preparing tonight, which by the time this airs is gonna be after the This Is Us series finale.
Is it that good?
Man, I'm talking about Nino Brown will watch an episode and cry. This Is Us is really that good. If you've never watched This Is Us, I haven't. I encourage you to take the time to binge watch. I'm actually going to go on vacation next week, and I'm about to restart and binge watch.
Are you doing anything exciting on your vacation?
You know what? To be honest, I'm doing nothing on purpose. Like I may go to a beach. I may go chill and relax. I may try new recipes. I'm gonna plant some plants. I'm gonna spend some time with my family.
Please document that planting the plants. I feel like we don't see men do that often, and it would be great if you share with the culture fans.
I'm different. I don't give a fuck about what people think about.
No, but I'm not saying that in a good way though. I think that you should share with the culture Gumbo fans that a piece of you, the other side, so they don't think you're just this ranting black man from Philly that just want to curse everybody out.
I put it on our social media page. I really don't cuss as much, but today, talking why I do cuss a lot. I'm not.
Y'all can watch the tapes of the other ones.
What you know what? And it's funny. I do 2 other podcasts and I don't cuss. I don't
Wait, but then he come on here with me, and it turns into
it's different. It's a
Billy
different
Illy
vibe.
Bully. You know what I mean? Like
it's a different vibe, and I'm doing.
It's okay. I do.
But it's funny.
But
it's funny because
them,
I'm comfortable with them too. But you know what I'm saying? It's one of those things. You know what I'm saying? Where but when we're not on, I curse, and they're like, "Oh, you curse a lot, Will." But no, watch This Is Us. This Is Us is an amazing show. Beth, the black wife on the show, is just amazing. Susan Kalichi Watson is her name. She's just, oh my God. And Sterling K. Brown. Sterling K. Brown comes on any show, on any scene, and will make you cry. When my man shed a tear on Black Panther, he was like, "It looks like I have disappointed you." I was like, Sterling, you haven't disappointed me. But that damn Killmonger, he was a disappointment. Whatever. I digress. But that's what I'm watching. That's what I'm listening to.
Okay.
Definitely encourage you this week. Take the time to meditate. If you don't use anything, I use Headspace. yeah, that's all I got. Take us
All
on,
right.
Phil.
Well, this has been a wonderful, fun-filled,
Long ass
long,
episode.
but we thank you. If you still here, you still listening, clearly you enjoyed it.
If you ain't still
So
here, you ain't loyal. I'm cutting you off.
so we appreciate you. We want to invite you for our next episode. It's going to be bomb as always. Continue to follow us on social media, Culture Gumbo Pod on Instagram. Who cares about
Culture
Facebook?
Gumbo
We don't
Podcast
care
on
about Facebook.
Facebook.
We don't care about Facebook.
Well, we're gonna start going live on Facebook, so we're gonna start going live on Facebook so people can come and leave their comments and I can cuss them out in the comment section because I'm with the smoke. So yeah. As we close out, I just want to say, please take care of your mental. Love on people who love on you the most.
This is
Over appreciate people, and keep the main thing, and go out and do something dope for somebody this week.
Yes, we encourage.
I do want to leave y'all one thing that my therapist has said to me. My therapist says, I want you to normalize luxury in your life at least once a week. What that looks like, what it looks like for you depends on you. It could be buying a T-bone steak. It could be buying a brand new dress. It could be getting your nails done, getting your feet played with by the Asian Jones at the shop. Because they are so sweet and it smells so good in there. Buying yourself a candle. Do anything to normalize luxury in your life because you deserve it.
That's a whole nother topic that I would like to open up at some point, because what does that mean to people? So we'll start that next week. What did you do to normalize luxury in your life? I think that's necessary. Me, I love luxury things. That's why God needs to bless me with a husband and some money in my bank for me to do what I need to do, because I love luxury. I'm just not there yet. But anywho,
fellas, Shakira is open. Her DMs is popping. Y'all see her hair. Y'all see the skin is luxurious. Get in them DMs on Facebook.
No, don't
Shakira,
get in the DMs.
On Instagram, I think she's Shakira McPherson. Ask Shakira McPherson, like, yo, show her some love, man. You know what I'm saying? So she can get a husband and she can get right.
Anybody to the DMs, but
listen, she wants somebody who's at least 55 years old. He got to be 6'2" or above. He got to have
55?
Yeah, I thought it was like a 5.
I'm only 41 years old. What are we doing here? What are we doing? I didn't say grandpa. Anywho, and even if you are a grandpa at this age, because nowadays I got friends and family that are grandparents at this age, I'm open to that. I just, whatever. Anyway, I'm ignoring this. This is not an open call at all. Have a wonderful day.
If you go from my DMs and you flirt with me, I flirt back. I'm just saying that right now.
He does. He's teddy bear. He's the love bear.
My skin is soft. You know what I'm saying? I smell like cocoa butter, good credit, and great decisions.
Listen. That's a whole.
When I get this one ab, I'm coming on the show with no shirt on, a kangaroo hat, a rope chain, and I'm gonna be singing "Unbad" for the Jones.
Whatever you want. Listen.
All right. This up so I can fly and watch This Is Us, because I'm soft and sentimental.
Until next time, we'll see you later.